All right, friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are exploring our 15th country.
Yeah, we're now in Krakow, Poland.
In this video, we're gonna show you guys the best things to do while you're here. You ready to get going?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So we are starting off here in the town square, which is huge, by the way.
A little overwhelming.
Yeah, we haven't been to a city with this big of a town square in a long time. But we're now headed to the Cloth Hall Market, which is a market that originated in the 13th century, and that's really all I know.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle, so I think we start there and then explore around. So Cloth Hall, exactly that. It's a hall that's selling like souvenirs and clothing. It's usually just the central marketplace for the town square, so that's what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty small, a little underwhelming, but they did have a lot of like really interesting and like unique souvenirs, so definitely worth a walk through.
And the architecture on the outside is pretty impressive. It's actually like one of the cultural icons of the city too. So, and there's a lot of pigeons, so just be careful. They come flying at you.
Headed to St. Mary's Basilica, which was, what, built in the 13th century?
Yeah, built originally in the 13th century. And it was redesigned in the brick Gothic style in the 14th century and completed in 1347. Also, that guy. Also, it has the world's largest Gothic altarpiece, which is like 40 feet wide by 34 feet tall when it's all open. It's a triptych.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the most beautiful churches in Europe. I don't know if we can film in there or not.
I think we might have to pay, but we'll check it out.
Okay. What were your first impressions of the church?
Very beautiful inside. A lot of eclectic stuff in there.
Yeah? Okay. So that, for me, was definitely one of the most like overwhelming and confusing and most beautiful churches that we've been to. It kind of reminded me, and I don't mean this in a negative way, of like your grandma's house where like anything they can put something to decorate it, they do, like all over the house. It's kind of how that felt, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And a lot of the styles were like mismatched. There was like Gothic things. We saw, I don't know how many different skulls around the church. I've never seen a skull in a church
I
before.
think it might be part of the Gothic style.
I guess.
Not sure though.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very confusing and obviously very beautiful, but it's very overwhelming because every time you turn your head, there's just 100 things to look at. Very unique.
Definitely worth the price. And later I'll be going up in the tower.
Oh, yeah. Get good views of the city?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's next?
Next is the Rheineck Underground.
All right, we were on our way to that underground museum and we stumbled across this market and I'm just in awe. I've never seen anything like this. There's like food stalls, cheese, there's like handcrafted things. There's like a beer place, a wine place. This is like one of those days that just makes me really happy that we get to do what we're doing because this is so much fun.
Time to climb the tower. Evan's afraid of heights as always, so Just not coming with me. Alright, here's the view from the top. A little dizzy coming down the stairs. It's well worth it though.
Next up on our list, we just got tickets to see the Underground Museum, which...
Yeah, it's underneath the cloth hall. It's supposed to be an interactive museum to learn about the history of the city.
Yeah, it looks really interesting. You say there's like fog machines and like holograms, so we'll try and get the best quality video that we can while we're down there for you guys. Here we go. So this museum's really interesting. I think it was only like $6 each to come in, but it's really hard to like read any of the exhibits. It's really low light, and I don't know. It's definitely cool to come see, but I don't know.
Alright, so the Underground Museum is pretty cool. If you're a big history person, probably spend all day in there. There's like a lot of like documentaries that are probably 15 minutes long, I'm guessing. We only set through a couple minutes of each though. Different eras of the civilization in the city.
I think the first half of it is like,
there's not a lot of information.
there's not a lot of information, and the little information there is, it's really hard to read because it's such low light and it's really fine print. And we're not that old, like,
You can't see.
yeah, the second half is pretty interesting. It's cool because what you see behind us is the cloth hall where we were this morning, or cloth market, and then where we just were underneath it is like the original marketplace, I guess you could say.
So it's got all the excavation,
yeah,
archaeological sites. So.
that part was interesting, but all the smoke and mirrors, the holograms, all that stuff, it's just for show. It's nothing informative at all, but it was worth it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was worth checking out. It wasn't for me. I'm trying to be as positive as possible. That was not for me, honestly. So
All right.
I think that does it actually for this portion of the video today. So we'll see you tomorrow because we have a lot more exciting things to explore.
All right. See you tomorrow.
There's some kind of bee parade going on. I don't know what this is. If anybody out there is watching and you know what they're like marching for, please put it down in the comments below because we're very curious. So while there are plenty of museums and all sorts of things to do here in Krakow, if you're on a budget like we are, you can literally just walk around aimlessly, and around every corner you're going to find something beautiful. We were just heading to the Jewish Quarter to check out that area, and we came across this beautiful garden next to a church. It's so pretty. I love Krakow. We figured it out. We were walking to the Jewish Quarter, we stumbled across this market, and everything was like honey based, so like different honeys, honey beer, honey wine, honey soap, and then the bee parade came around. So it must be like some kind of honey bee festival, I guess. That's really cool. Krakow's amazing.
Beastie Boys.
All right, friends, we are now in the old Jewish Quarter, or the neighborhood known as Kazimierz. Is that how you say it?
I believe so.
Kazimierz. So it was once the Jewish quarter. It has now been transformed in kind of this like trendy, artsy neighborhood filled with vintage shops, cocktail bars, cafes. And right now we are headed to go check out the old synagogue.
The old synagogue behind us here is the oldest synagogue in Poland and one of the oldest in Europe, and is the foundation for the Jewish neighborhood here, dating back to the 15th century.
You can actually go in. They've turned it into a museum. However, we spent quite a bit of money on another tour that we want to do in the next couple days, so we're actually going to skip going inside here, but it is beautiful and definitely worth a stop if you come to Krakow.
Princess Fruit Thrower. So we climbed up the hill to Wawel Castle.
Yeah, this castle was actually built in the 14th century, but the oldest stone buildings they found here date back to 970 AD, which is really interesting. So here there are a lot of different like exhibitions and museums you can go to see. Cathedrals, all kinds of things, but it's a separate entrance fee for each one. So I think today we're just gonna kind of walk around and do the free part and just admire the architecture because it is beautiful. Okay, so we've come back to this little marketplace that we were at yesterday. So they had mulled wine, and it's a little chilly. I think the high is like 60 degrees, and we haven't been in cold weather in like 8 or 9 months. So we decided something warm would be tasty. I've never had mulled wine before. Let's try. Oh my God. I honestly don't think that this day could get any better. We're at this little market and there's a polka band playing, so we're just drinking mulled wine, listening to polka music, and I could cry. I'm so happy.
Co sieli dzieli, wieczają, ptaszki śpiewają.
All right, friends, it is the next morning. We didn't shoot anything else last night because it started pouring rain and thunder and lightning, but we are up again. It's still a little bit rainy, but we are now headed to
Oskar Schindler's Enamel Factory.
yes, to learn a little bit about
The occupation,
thank you.
World War II, how it affected the Polish Jews.
Yes, so it should be interesting. I don't think we're really gonna film in there. I don't even know if we can, but we'll give you the update when we get out.
To the left, I believe.
What'd you think?
It was very informative. It's got a little bit about Schindler, a little video to watch, probably about like 20 minutes long, about like his factory and stuff and the people that work there. But yeah, definitely worth the money to walk through.
Yes, definitely a very informative, like you said, museum. It took us like 2 hours. We probably could have stayed a lot longer. So definitely got our money's worth, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was only like 6 US.
Each.
Yeah, 28 zloty.
Yeah, it's like, it's pouring down rain right now, so we're trying not to get the GoPro wet.
Yeah.
So yeah, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
All right, friends, we have one last recommendation, something you should do if you ever visit Krakow, and that is to take a visit to Auschwitz-Birkenau.
Yeah, it's something we've always learned about in school and history and everything, but until you get there, it's something you can't really explain. So serene and it's really quiet. I kind of take in everything, but you learn a lot. Our tour guide was awesome. I kind of went over everything. You have like the headphones on she talks into, so she repeated everything. So you kind of let it all sink in.
We didn't film, obviously, which is why we're here telling you about our experience. We wanted to be respectful, obviously, and we also wanted to be really present. And we had debated whether or not to do a tour, because you can go, you can take public transportation there, and I believe if you get there before 10 a.m., it's free to enter on your own, but after 10 a.m., I think they require a guide. But so anyways, we were thinking, especially for me, because I have such high anxiety, I was nervous about getting emotional and maybe not having enough time at each place that we stopped. But our guide did such a good job, like Lemon said, of just really making sure we understood the information, but like moving along as well. So we didn't move too fast, but you just don't have enough time to sit and sulk in your feeling. You kind of just keep moving. So I actually really enjoyed it that way.
Yeah, ours was, I think, like 3 hours total between the two spots, but I heard her talking to a lady, you can do like a 7 or 8 hour one. That's, you stop at every barracks and every important spot in between the two camps. So a little bit more immersive if they're like, said it was for like history students and just lovers of history, I guess.
Anyways, to wrap it up, we've loved our time in Krakow. Like, we've had, 4 full days here, and we could probably spend like a whole nother week and not see everything. There's so much to do.
It's a really walkable city too, so definitely got our steps in.
Yeah, but it's just beautiful. So we hope that y'all will visit. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button, because our next video, we're taking you all around Krakow and trying all of the most delicious Polish foods.
And maybe some drinks.
Maybe some drinks. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Worth a stop if you come to Krakow. I dropped my umbrella. It's so good. I honestly don't think that this moment could be any better. At this market, there's a live polka plant.
Also, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button right now and click the subscribe button so you can follow us on our adventures, because tomorrow we're headed to country number. Hold on. Also, wait. Okay, I'll do that.